Hi, everyone. I'm Christine Brown. I'm an estate planning and elder law attorney in Torrance, California. And a lot of times when I meet with families, they're really concerned about their loved one's care. Should they choose in-home care? Should they place someone in an assisted living facility, a boarding care, or even a skilled nursing facility? And they're kind of at their wits' end, and they don't know how to answer that question. And I do have the answer to that question, and my answer is usually, I think you need to consult with a care manager. And their typical response is, what's a care manager? What do they do? Well, today I have with me my friend, Cheryl Mathieu, who has been a care manager for over 20 years. She has a wonderful podcast called Age Sage, where she talks about dementia issues and caregiving issues. And she is with me today to answer some of the most common questions that I get from my clients. So, hi, Cheryl, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me today.
Great. Well, the first question I get from my clients is, what is a geriatric care manager and how can they assist families?
That is a great question. And it was actually one I asked myself for a long time as I was searching for answers for my friends and family. And even I was a professional in the aging field, and I didn't know what a care manager was. I just knew people needed advocates, and they needed to be educated about all the challenges that happen with aging, whether it's dementia or whether it's falls or assisted living, all these things that people don't know anything about, and then all of a sudden they're faced with it. So I actually first printed out business cards saying Cheryl Mathieu, elder advocate. And then I found there's a profession called geriatric care management. So a care manager is usually either a social worker or a nurse, and they assist families. They do consultations, assessments. They figure out what is the need and how can they fill it. To me, my job is to educate and empower the caregivers or the spouse, family members, whoever is involved in caring for an older person, so that they know what the river ahead looks like, what life looks like ahead of whatever just happened. Because usually I get a call when something happened. What are the options? How much does it cost? Offer resources, as well as help along the way if people want. Sometimes people just want a plan, and then they go work with the plan. Sometimes people need help with carrying out the plan. So we can do as little or as much as the family wants. And after doing it for so long, people kept saying, Cheryl, we need to clone you because people need more help. And I can only have so many hours in a day. So over the last couple of years, I've worked to put my work online with videos. I've written a book. I have my podcast. I have a monthly membership that people can join. And we do, most of the work is virtual, which is perfect for these challenging times with COVID-19 now that people are even more isolated than usual. So we do Zoom support calls and the text support on the phone. So you have questions about anything, they can be answered all virtually. So I think that's so it really decreases the caregiver stress, decreases time that caregivers or adult children can need to take time off work. It empowers them and gives them peace of mind that they are thinking about everything that is needed so they can make the best choices possible with their loved ones.
Great. Yes, I totally agree. One of the things that I see sometimes is there's some family discord going on pertaining to the care of the loved one. So how can a care manager help with that?
Well, that's a great question, and that it does happen a lot. We think sometimes, I don't know, that I think maybe more people think that if we were raised in the same household, or multiple children were raised in the same household, they might have similar beliefs or come from a similar perspective or have the same experience. And especially when it comes time to make decisions or help make decisions for mom and dad, they realize, oh my gosh, I was in the same house as my brother, but we see things very differently. So when people. And most of the time, those siblings don't know, they've never been down this road. Their parents have never gotten older. They don't know what it's like. They're just trying to make the best decisions possible. And they come at it from different angles. And maybe they've talked to a friend about something. But what I find helps is if we bring the whole family together, anybody that's involved with the care, and they can voice their opinions, fears, concerns, visions, because a lot of times people will have a very clear decision of what they think is right for mom or dad. So we listen. And sometimes that is the care manager being a mediator, because sometimes there's hurt feelings and it can bring up very old things like, when I was 10, mom always favored you more, all that. And so, each family has it. So if each family has it and everybody's bringing to the table their best. So we listen to everybody, and then the care manager can offer information, and, everybody's going to hear it a little different, but it's a way to get everybody on the same page. And most of the times that, the kids will say like, oh, I never thought of that. I never knew that aspect of an assisted living, or I never knew that about having a caregiver in the home. So when they feel empowered and educated to be an advocate, then we can come up with some decisions based on information and what their parents want, so everybody can be on the same page moving forward. So it's really life-changing is the word that comes up, because these decisions that we make for our parents are decisions that will stay with us for the rest of our life, that we'll feel good about, sometimes we'll feel guilty about. So the goal is so that everybody has the information that they know, I've listened to everything, I've made the best choice based on what we know now, and they can have peace of mind that they're offering the best quality of life for their parents. So it's really important. Even, we get people on Zoom and everybody participate is very helpful.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. And I'm always a big fan of care managers because you're really a neutral third party. I mean, you're there to advocate for the individual that needs the care. And then I think both sides, or battling sides, are willing to hear your perspective and take your experience and your recommendations and hopefully go forward. So what recommendations do you give to someone that has dementia and that needs to go into a memory care facility?
That's it's a great question, and really often asked, because the time between when family is worried about someone and when they're actually need to be placed or more care can sometimes feel very long, and it's this gray area, like you're worried but not worried enough, and they're not willing, and that's such a difficult time. When I first started care management 20 years ago, I heard people say, I want to keep mom or dad at home or my spouse at home, and I promised them, and so I did that. We put caregiving in the home all the way through hospice, and we kept them home all the time, and I thought that was the best, until I started seeing some people go into a memory care community, a good memory care community. And I saw people starting to thrive more than they ever could at home, because of socialization and the activities that were appropriate for their retained strengths. And other people there, the workers and other residents, going, you have what I have, and we're both okay. There's an interesting dynamic, a community that happens. I think it's sort of magical. So I saw them starting to thrive. So it really changed my view about moving into assisted living. So it's individual. As a care manager, I like to educate the family about the benefits of assisted living, because I think sometimes people take that off the table. I think there's still a misconception of, well, moving in them means giving up or dumping them somewhere, or not getting the best care. And so when I tell them about the benefits, it really opens up their mind to the possibility. Now, right now during COVID-19, it's a little different, because sometimes you can't visit right now, but then having caregivers in the home is a little tricky too. So most of the time, if you were to tell me like, which one should I do, I really sway towards finding a great assisted living. But right now, it could be staying at home with full-time care. That's really part of the care management process and the assessment, and talking with the whole family about looking at location, what's the cost, and the budget to the family. So there's a lot of things to take into consideration, but I think both are great options for the right people, or for different people.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, that's very sage advice. I appreciate all of the information. I'm going to pass it on to my clients along with your number, because you're a fabulous care manager, and I appreciate your time and your willingness to answer my questions for this video. And I'm going to have Cheryl's contact information below the video, so you can reach out to her if you'd like. So that'll be it for today, and thank you all for watching, and thanks again to Cheryl, and have a great day. Bye.
Okay. Thanks, Christy.
Okay, so we're off.
Okay.
Hold on just a second. Let's see. Yeah, I just want to make sure.